Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. I'm mostly Darklink, and today what I have for you guys is a bush farm. Now, if you guys weren't aware, the newest Minecraft snapshot 25W05A that brought about a couple of new things. So we got some new cow variants as well as two new blocks, the bush and the firefly bush. In a previous tutorial, I went over how to make a firefly bush farm. If you're interested in that, I'll have that in the description down below. Today, I wanted to go over the bush because it's a little unique and yeah. Now, as always, we'll go over how the farms work, what materials you need, and then I'll show you how to make them. As always, if you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps support my channel and it allows me to keep making more videos like this for you guys. Now, as you can see in front of us, we have 4 different farms. All 4 of these are bush farms. I've been experimenting a little bit and through some trial and error came up with what I think is the best one, which is that one over there. Now, I'll go over these ones and then go over the one that I like the most and, well, show you how to make them. Now, to start, if you weren't aware, bushes are a new decorative block being added into the game. As you can see, nothing too exciting, but it's always nice just to have new decorative blocks. And with it, there is kind of a unique way that these spawn in. So every piece of bone meal, we spawn another bush next to the bush. Now, it'll spawn in the cardinal directions like so. And once there's something all around it, it will no longer spawn anymore. Now we can take this mechanic of spawning 1 for 1 with the bone meal like so and farm it. So our first farm here, what we got is we have some pistons looking over some mud, and this formation allows the bush to spread out in any of these directions. And if we come to the back where our on switch is, turn it on, as you can see, we got some bushes flying everywhere, and they're eventually being collected through the mud into these hoppers like so. As you can see behind our chest, we do have a little bit of loss. Now, the reason for it is, as you can see up here at the top, when we got pistons looking down like this, occasionally the piston's going to bring the item up and it's going to pass through here. I have tried putting blocks all around, but it will still pass through up here in this corner. You can fill in as much as possible like that, and you'll reduce the amount of loss, but you're still going to get lost with this design. But it is neat. So because of the loss and also it having to cage it this much, I wasn't too happy with it. We went on to the next design. So instead of pistons overhead, we have pistons next to our dispenser here, firing off to the side to break the bush. And if we come to the back again, flip it on like so, as you can see, a lot less loss flying up and around. We got the bushes being pushed into the hoppers in front of them, coming into our chest here. But there's a problem with this one, just like the last one. If we turn it off, it'll be a little more obvious. That center block, we got some bushes gathering on there. It's not ideal, as well as we got a little bit more loss down here in the corner. So again, we got some loss. Not too happy about having some loss, but the size of this one was a bit better than the last one. So again, back to the drawing board, and we have this one. So instead of pushing the bushes in front, we have hoppers underneath the mud to suck them through like our first one, and we are still doing the pistons on the side. And if we come to the back again, turn it on, see, this one is working a lot better. We don't have bushes flying in any direction. It's all gathering up into the chest. Good, right? Well, realize something. We don't need it to be this big. So even though the bush will spawn a bush in all the cardinal directions when we bone meal, it will only spawn 1 bush per bone meal. So we really only need 1 slot, like so, which allows us to shrink that to this. And it also makes it so we can have our lever here instead of all the way in the back. Now we have a farm that is just as efficient as this one, but a good bit smaller. As you can see, nothing's flying around, and this one's doing awesome. So now we can harvest all of our bushes, have as many as we want for whatever reason, and we don't have bushes flying everywhere. Some of you may be asking yourselves, why? And to that, I say, why not? If something can be farmed automatically, why not farm it automatically? You know, so if you want to make this, I'll go ahead and show you guys how to make it. Okay, so to make this farm, we're going to need 2 chests. These are chests out in the front, and then 2 hoppers, 2 pieces of mud, 2 dispensers, an observer, piece of redstone dust, 1 lever. Now, these next 2, I have 5 solid building blocks and 10 pieces of glass. Honestly, you just need 15 building blocks. As I always say, I like to look into my farm, which is why there's glass. You can have them solid blocks if you like and you don't want to be looking in. You can also just have a couple pieces of glass in the front to look in. You don't need anywhere near as much glass as I got. Now, this hopper and this chest here are optional to load in bone meal into our dispenser. You can have other methods if you like, or you can just not have them at all and just manually feed into your dispenser. That is up to you. And we're going to need a bunch of bone meal. I just have a stack to represent that we need bone meal. And of course, 1 single bush to start us off. Okay, now first things first, go ahead and place down your chest and then come to the back here. And we're going to put a hopper going in like so. Now you can either have the second hopper going into the chest or you can have it going into the hopper. Either way will work. And then we're going to put our mud on top of the hopper like so. And then we can go ahead, take our bush already and put it right on our piece of mud. Next, we're going to do a dropper facing up like so. And then an observer looking down into the dropper and a piece of redstone dust on top like that. This is our redstone clock and is what allows our farm to constantly fire off the piston. If you're in bedrock, you're going to need a different redstone clock. This one does not work in bedrock. Any redstone clock will work though. This one, I just like it because of how fast it is as well as how compact it is. Next, you're going to need some kind of temporary block. Actually, that is going to be one of our structured building blocks. It's not temporary. You're going to need it. And then a dispenser facing into the bush like so. I forgot something very important in the material list, and that is a piston. You will need 1 piston, which we need right now. So go ahead, grab a piston. And we're going to have it next to our dispenser facing out like so. Next, go ahead and encase our farm. And what we are doing is we are just preventing bushes from flying off in every single direction. You are going to need another block on top of the piston. Otherwise, you're going to have some bushes flying off throughout the top. And just like the top, we are going to need a block here. I also have 2 blocks here on the side like so, just to prevent any from going out in the corners. And if you want to be extra safe, you could put more blocks in the back. I've only had 1 come flying out, leaving it on for about an hour. But if you really want to be cautious, like I said, go ahead and put more blocks in the back. Now, if you want, you could take your your optional hopper and chest, put them to the dispenser with a chest on top of the hopper. And again, this is for bone meal. If you want, all you need to do is come into the back of the dispenser, put in your bone meal. I like to have a chest, so that way I can have a whole bunch of bone meal like so. And I could just sit it and forget it for a long time. If you got a bone meal farm, you can also just hook this up to a bone meal farm. That would be perfectly acceptable and make things easier on yourself. And now, lastly, we need our lever. Oops. So when we put it on, flick it on, you're going to see it flick once. Now, if we flick it again, our farm should go. Simple as that. And that is it. Nice, simple, easy tutorial. Again, my name is Mostly Darklink. Thank you for watching. If you like this tutorial, please hit that like and subscribe button. If there's something you'd like to see me make in the future, let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, see ya.